So I already feel like I have to do a follow-up video to my last video on mic drops. I posted a video trying to come up with some inexpensive solutions to the mic drop phenomenon, which is happening. It's been happening to me for about 10 years now. Not all the time, but it happens occasionally. A lot of us want to get a nice pricey wireless microphone for our clients because it's solid, no interference, sounds good, all that kind of stuff, just for some drunk to go and drop it on the floor. I've gotten some feedback in the comments section that's drove me crazy enough where I feel like I need to go ahead and address some of this stuff. First of all, I'm not encouraging mic drops. I'm not telling my clients to do mic drops. They're just unfortunately happening. And, you know, your situation may not be the same as other people's situations. Maybe you've been lucky. Maybe when you hand a microphone to somebody, that's the only person who's going to use that microphone. And maybe you explicitly tell them, hey, this is an $800 mic. If you drop it, you're going to trash it and you're going to have to pay for it. You know, that's a solution, I guess. But let me tell you a story. I did a gig on last Saturday. And I handed the microphone to the same lady I hand the microphone to every year when I do this party. And I showed her it's a new mic. I showed her how it worked and everything else. She went up and she did her presentation. Then she handed a mic to her friend. Then they handed it to the boss. Then they did a raffle and handed the mic to everyone who won in the raffle, which was like almost everyone there. I don't know how many people handled the microphone that night. Now, at one point, the boss did take the mic and tossed it on a table. And it made a big noise, and I heard him say, oh, wow. He didn't even realize what he had done. It was an accident. It didn't hurt anything, but if it would have hurt something, would I have had to have charged the client for the mic? That would have been unfortunate. And do I have to get on the microphone before I hand the wireless microphone out and say, all right, everybody, listen to me. If you drop this microphone, you're going to pay for it, so don't drop the microphone. I can't do that. It doesn't work that way. The world doesn't work that way in my world anyway. So, yeah, have a little empathy here. If this is working for you, if telling people that they have to pay for it if they break it, if that's working for you, then by all means keep doing it. But again, accidents happen and people drink and mics get passed around to people. Can you imagine if you're at a wedding reception and your client completely understands this mic drop thing because you've talked about it, and they hand the mic to an uncle and the uncle drops it. The uncle doesn't know any better. The uncle's seen this done on TV and everything else. And, you know, mic drop is almost like a meme now. And they break it. And then the client goes to the uncle and says, you owe me money for this microphone. And the uncle says, what are you talking about? I just did a mic drop. People do it all the time. Then you've got friction between your client and their guest. So I'm only trying to come up with solutions to avoid conflict with anybody. I'm not saying mic drops are cool. I'm not saying they are. I'm not saying they're encouraged. I'm not saying that people shouldn't be warned against them. All I'm suggesting is that they happen. And if they have not happened to you, you've been very, very lucky, or you don't gig much or something, because they happen. And I've been very fortunate with mic drops. I've only had one catastrophic incident, and it was with a principal of a middle school. About 10 years ago, they trashed my Sony. They got mad at the students for doing something they didn't want the students to do. They grabbed my mic, they said something, and threw it on the table and popped it. I was a middle school principal. That wasn't a drunk at a party. You know, what am I going to do? Charge the guy for the mic? I mean, it happened. It kind of caught me off guard. Wow, I can't believe he did that. He was trying to punctuate his point, but he trashed my mic. But, yeah, man, I mean, don't get the wrong idea here. I'm not encouraging mic drops. I'm not suggesting having policies against mic drops are a bad idea. What I am suggesting is, if they're going to happen, either by accident or intentional, wouldn't it be smart to try to make this less painful for everybody? And the solutions that I suggested in my last video are those things that could make it less painful. That's all. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Practice and enjoy.